I hope you all enjoyed the unboxing of the Northridge Tool grinder. I know I sure did. Anyway, again, I got the camera on the stand. On my workbench is the Northridge Tool grinder. I got the door up too to cut down on some of the echo in the shop. So you're going to hear some outside noise. Anyway, there's some things I want to talk about before we get going with the assembly. The assembly is pretty simple, straightforward. It's basically putting the motor and the VFD on the chassis. The package I bought is the Pro package. And the Pro package comes with this tipping stand. And this tipping stand, when you use it, you have to remove the base off the chassis of the grinder. And when you put the tipping stand on, it needs to be bolted down. So right now, I'm not going to bolt this down. So I'm going to leave this off for now. It's a very simple installation. I'll even show you how it goes on and how it works. So just so you know, we're going to put it on. I'm going to leave the base on, and then we'll take it back off. So pretty simple. I'm going to show you how well manufactured this thing is, and one of the other main choices why I purchased Northridge Tool grinder Pro package. So we're going to take the grinder here, and also too, this is just going to be an assembly video. I also want to do, I don't know if it's going to be in this video or another video, but all the reasons why I chose the Northridge Tool grinder and why I didn't choose another manufacturer's grinder. There's several things I want to talk about. It would probably make this video too long, so I'm not going to do it. So anyway, let's go ahead and I'll show you how easy this the tipping stand goes on. So let's see. You know what? I might need to zoom in. Let me take a look there. Okay, that should be a little better. The fasteners that Northridge Tool uses are just top-notch fasteners, as you can see right here. Very good quality hardware and very good quality fasteners. If I was putting this on and leaving it, I'd be lubing these up. So I'm just going to slide this on, and just basically as a demonstration on how the tipping stand works. So just going to take it, line up the two stainless pins. Voila, on. Okay, and then put our fasteners back. Get my big fat cigar fingered hands in here. Okay, here it is sitting on its normal base, and here it is with the tipping stand, and now we're going to move to the tipping stand. Okay, and of course this is where you'd mount it to your workbench or your, wherever you're going to be using the grinder. This also gets, where'd I put it? It also gets one of the struts. So basically all you have to do is, here's the handle. Now this would flip all the way up. But as you can see, it's hitting the base. I don't want to remove the base right now. It's just a matter of putting the handle and locking it into position. And to remove the base is quite simple. 2, 4, 6, 8 tapered head hex screws, and the base comes off. And that's it. So since I'm not going to be mounting this, like I said, we're going to take it back off the tipping stand and put the rest of it together, man. Now, of course, this is going to be permanently mounted once my shop's done and I have a home for it. I actually am working on laying out the shop right now. Tolerances are so nice. Here's those inserts I was talking about right here. So it's not going to wear into the aluminum. And it's a spring-loaded latch. So there's the tilting stand right there. Okay, so let me cut and we'll move on to assembling it so we could get it fired up and going. Okay, let's install the bow door motor. Let me talk a little bit about it first. I know you guys just love it. I didn't bore you with installing the plug. I had mine wired from Northridge Tool to 220 volts. So this is the plug I just threw on here. Very simple, 3-wire installation, done. The motor is a bow door. It's a bow door model VM3558 3-phase 2 horsepower motor. Now, when you install the tilting stand, you need to put this electrical box towards the back. If you don't have the tilting stand or you're not using the tilting stand, you can mount your motor this way with the electric box up front, okay? So that way you could see the bow door badge. So since I'm going to be putting this on the tipping stand, you know, I'd have to pull the motor back off if I put it this way. So I might as well just put it on the way I'm going to have it, you know, permanently after it's in the shop. So this needs to face the back, which we'll roll it back over. The manufacturer recommends putting Loctite on all the bolts, so we will be doing that. Paper off. Okay, I'm going to use blue Loctite like they recommend, and just put that on these bolts. Get them ready. Just a little dab will do you. You know, it'd be easier if I put this on something. This might work here. The board that it came packed on looks like it'll probably work for spacing it out. Okay, let me move the camera around to the other side so we can see the bolts going in. Okay, we got the bow door motor sitting on a piece of wood. Got our mounting bolts here. These are 3/8 16 button caps. Normally, I would be putting anti-seize on these because it's a steel bolt going into an aluminum face, but the manufacturer recommends blue Loctite, so we're going to go with what they recommend. Okay. Okay, let's install this drive wheel. What better to use than a 3/8 high-speed steel tool bit to use as a spacer. Perfect. Okay, let's see, key. Key is here. Put that guy in here. Get the proper spacing without losing this thing. Okay. Okay, we're tight now. Looking good. If you notice, this drive wheel has grooves cut in it. The reason for this, from what I understand, is that it reduces heat. And also, too, it gives you a visual effect of tracking the sanding belt or grinding belt. So, okay. Next step, let's mount the bracket for the, that's good. Let's mount the bracket for the VFD. So I'll cut and zoom a little out. Before you put the bracket on, let's give this thing a test drive. So I plugged it in, turned it on. We're going to hit start. Oh man, look at that. That is smooth. It starts off as 10. It's got 0. There's 10. 20. I don't know what these numbers mean just yet. I need to figure out. There's 30. Smooth as glass, man. Smooth. That's a Baldor for you. There's 50%. 60. 70. 80. 90. 100. Look how smooth that is. There is absolutely no vibration anywhere. And I don't really think I'll ever be using that thing this fast. Sweet. Oh, look at that. Spewed out a little Loctite. Okay, let me grab the bracket and we'll put that on. Let's get that VFD bracket mounted up. good and snug. Okay, I'll reposition the camera and we'll install the VFD. Okay, VFD. Got the bracket on, got the hardware. I ran out and grabbed some stainless steel acorn nuts. Everything else is so nice on this thing, I thought it would make a nice little touch, you know, mounted here, so instead of an unfinished nut. So the bottom of this VFD is notched out right here, so we can go ahead and put the two bottom ones in and just basically set it on there. Let's see how that works out. Pretty good. This bracket being mounted to the grinder itself is another reason why I chose this grinder. I don't like the idea of having to, you know, mount stuff remotely. So let me grab a wrench, I'll be right back. Okay, grab the 7/16. Let's tighten this guy up. You know, all snugged up. I'll bring the camera on back, show you the finished product there. Or should I say the installation. Okay, here's the back of the VFD bracket with the stainless acorn nuts. I like it, it's a nice touch. Probably gonna have to reroute this cord. I'll get this all worked out when I have it permanently mounted. So anyway. There it is. Okay, so let's move to the next step, which I believe is the tracking wheel. So let's go install the tracking wheel, and that goes here. Okay, let's install the tracking wheel. It comes with a very nice machined spacer. No washers in this build, guys. This is all machined spacers in here. Very nice stuff. Like I said before, good quality hardware. Top quality, high-speed sealed bearings, machine spacers on the inside of all the wheels. Let's throw some Loctite on here and get this guy installed. Another little dabble do you here. Of course, I forgot my Allen wrench. It's over here. Okay. Smooth as glass, man. Smooth as glass. All right, let's move to the next step. Let me reposition the camera because I want to talk about the grinding belt tensioner. Okay, I had my choice whether I wanted the tracking wheel shock, which basically gets mounted in here and then goes down to that mount right there, okay? I chose to buy the ratchet tensioner. This is a really nice feature. With the shock, you have just that. You have shock in here. I believe these have about a 30-pound force, where with the ratchet tensioner, as you push up on your tracking arm, it's a fixed, rigid way of tightening against the belt. So we're going to go with the ratchet setup for now. If I choose, I can switch out to the shock if I don't like the rigidity of this setup and the belt, but I think I'm going to like it. So that we have to install a pin. We got to set a pin in here, and we'll do that right now. Let me get what I need to do that, and we'll get that set up. Okay, let's get this installed. I got the little pin right here. It's going to be going in here. Should have done that before I put the tracking wheel on, huh? Oh well. Look at that. That's the fitment on everything is just perfect. I want the equal. Okay, there we go. It looks like it's got about 1.5 inches of travel. Very nice. I like it. Just take a look at that mechanism. As a matter of fact, let me bring the camera around to the other side. I'll zoom in here first. It's a better shot of the mechanism up close. That's full travel right there. Lockout. This is the lockout release right here. And then I'll bring the camera to the other side so you can see it. Okay, here's the other side of the belt tightening, tensioning setup. Looks like it's got about, I didn't measure it, but it looks like it's about 1.5 inches travel is my guess. And there's your tracking wheel adjustment. So let's get the plating with the roller wheels, and we'll get that put in, and then we'll give this thing a test drive. Okay. The tooling arm, I mentioned before, but they have nice touches on everything. There's a channel cut in here. I'm not really sure how deep it is, I can measure it, but it's cut in so it doesn't mar the actual tooling arm. It mars in here, as you can see. That way it doesn't get buggered up when you take it in and out. So. And of course the hardware's all nice knurling, good quality fasteners. Okay, of course this is adjustable after you get your belt on, and then this tightens it up. Okay, I do have a piece of Pyrex glass for this, but for this video, we'll just throw a belt on there and fire it up. Well, let me grab a belt and we'll do that. Okay, George was kind enough to throw me a couple belts. This one is a 220. The other one I believe he gave me is a 400, so I got a 220 and a 400. So these belts, I'm sure everyone knows, are directional, so they got arrows in them. So this is the first time fitting up a belt. Let's see how it goes. You know, what's nice about this ratchet setup is I could set this without having to hold the arm. If it had the shock on here, I'd be having to hold this down while I throw a belt on here. So that's one thing I'm liking already. Okay, I'm going to tension it up. I'm going to spin it by hand, and I'm going to center it up with the tracking handle here. Man, it's got really, it tracks frickin' perfect. I mean, just tiny little movements of this tracking handle and it moves. There's something else that I also wanted to mention too. They pre-wire these units at their factory, and they use some really good quality cord, real good quality cord. It's stranded copper, so that's a good thing right there because it makes it real flexible, and everyone knows that stranded copper flows electricity a lot more efficiently. So just wanted to throw that in there. Good quality, man, all the way through and through. So let me get this thing plugged in again, and we'll fire it up. Okay, boys and girls, here's our maiden voyage. We got ignition. She's alive. I'm just playing with the tracking right now, centering it up on the plating so the belt's tracking evenly on both sides of the plating. Man, this baby is smooth. I'm impressed. There's 50%, half. Got a little piece of belt flipping around right here. Okay, let's cut that off. Okay, let's put the rat arm on, and that stands for rotary adjusting table. Let me grab it, and we'll throw that bad boy on next, so then we'll have a work rest for this. Before I throw that work rest on, I wanted to give you a shot from this side. This thing is so smooth. Awesome, man, awesome. %, right there. I feel very, very little. Oh, that's air. This thing has no vibration at all. Okay, let me grab the rat arm. Okay, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but this grinder has 2 tool arm positions, a lower and an upper. So that way you can change out tool arms without having to remove one or the other. So in other words, let's say I had the 10-inch contact wheel in here, which we'll throw on here later. I don't have to disrupt the work rest, because I just have to slide it out, slide the other one in. You have 2 positions. I like it. It's a good feature. So anyway, I showed this in the original video, but I'd like you to see the machining in here. And as a hobby machinist, I can really appreciate the work that goes into this machining. These are all stainless precision ground pins. I'm assuming it's 6061 aluminum. I'm not sure. I'd have to find out, but good quality fasteners. The CNC machining here is like top notch, man. It's beautiful. So anyway, let's go ahead and install this and get it adjusted for the plating. Another we ought to tighten it down in. Okay, I'm not sure where this is going to go yet, but here's the work rest. It's 5 inches by 8 inches with a relief cut for the belt, so it can sit into the plating. More machined brackets. That's why it's called the rotary adjustable. It's got many positions. So let's get it in here. Right now it's probably all flippy floppy. Yeah, look at that. So you can go with angles on it. Flip it around, and especially when you're tipped on it. So, all right. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, but I'll figure it out real quick here. That is close, so it looks like I have this one flipped around. I believe I need to flip this one around. Let's see. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Now that's not in the way. Okay. I gotta snug all these up. I want to zero it to this first. Let's see. Okay, I got that zeroed. Oh man, that was a lucky guess, man. I got it zero. Check it out. How about that? Okay, that's zero. Okay, got the work rest on. Got it leveled out to the machine. Got the rat arm cinched down. Got a little tiny gap in here, so let's give it a test drive. We have ignition. Pretty nice. There's 100% right there. I can feel a little tiny bit, but that's just got to be the belt going around in the wheels. But it's pretty darn smooth. Let's give it a vibration test. What can we use? Hold on a second, let me grab something. Let me grab something, we'll give it a little vibration test. We'll balance something on the work rest. Okay, here's a nickel. Let's put that on here and okay, there's a nickel sitting on the work rest. Let's see if it can withstand the zero vibration. Okay, it's on its lowest setting right now. Ignition. It's still there. Let's crank her up. Let's see how fast we can go before the nickel falls over or takes off. Okay, there's 15. I went past 10. There's 20. He's sitting steady. Go to 30. There's 30. 40. 50. She moved a little bit, but you gotta remember that belt's coming around too. I feel a little bit of air coming off that belt. So it's picking up very slight vibration. And two, remember, I don't even have this bolted down. It's sitting on a bath towel right now. There's 60. 70. 80. 90. There's 100. And it fell over. So it made it all the way to 90% without falling over. Anyway, I'm sorry, but that's pretty damn good. It's not bolted down. It's sitting on a bath towel. It's sitting on a piece of wood, sitting on top of a workbench on rubber wheels on the ground. Not even locked down. So, I give it a big thumbs up in my book. Okay, let's pull out the plate and put the 10-inch contact wheel in. Okay. Got the spacer, the tool arm, and the bolt. Okay, maybe he's on there. Okay. It's that simple. Okay, so let me reposition. Okay, we now have the 10-inch contact wheel on. Looks like it's tracking pretty good. Got our tension good. Let's fire her up. Yeah, this tracking works excellent. I mean, it's so fine-tuned. It works perfect. Super high quality bearings in that contact wheel. some would say, a vision of loveliness. Awesome, man. Freaking awesome. This thing's badass, man. Badass. I'm sure you guys think the same. Here's a shot of the 10-inch contact wheel from this side with the work rest on it. Pretty sweet, man, pretty sweet. All right, let me put the flat plating back on, and it's a grinder, man, so let's grind something. Let's change this 220 belt out to, let's see, I got a 120 right here. Yeah, I got a 120 grit. 220 is pretty fine, so this is too, but this will work better. All right, let's change it out. Okay, let's grind something. Piece of 1/8 inch. Looks like hot rolled steel. Well, let's grind it. Man, the harder I push, the more it takes. I'm barely going in on this. There it is, guys. Badass, man. The Northridge Tool Grinder Pro Package.